Welcome to Cuenca, Ecuador. Some of you have asked me to do a day in the life in Cuenca, what I get up to every day. And the funny thing is, today I'm actually shooting a video with Andreas to share what life is like at his hostel. So his family owns a series of 3 hostels, but not like the backpacker hostels from the 90s. These are more like inns or B&Bs, and I am staying in the suite. And so I have my own kitchen, a couch, lots of space, a balcony. It is perfect for me. So as I shoot this video for him today, I want to share with you what it's like to be in the historic district, which I think is the best neighborhood in Cuenca. You are so close to everything. You're also close to a lot of traditional food, culture, nature. So today I'm going to show you what it's like to spend a day here. To share where I'm staying. So I have a suite at the Casa Cuencana, bed, a couch, got a dresser and a TV. This TV is a smart TV. And then another little couch, which I actually use quite often. I love this artwork, of course influenced by birdwatching Andreas. And then I have this little kitchenette. And so table that I often use to actually work on, but it has a coffee maker, got 2 burners here, microwave, fridge, and actually much to cook with. So this whole thing right here is filled with different cooking utensils. And then I actually have really cute plates. And then if I come out, I also have my own patio. So looking out onto Hermano Miguel, 2 little seats. I can just sit out here, and I often do that in the morning. So just around the corner, we're in the Todos Santos neighborhood. It has been known for over 400 years as the place to get bread. They make fantastic traditional bread here, and I'm at the Panaderia Todos Santos. It makes amazing traditional bread in a wood-fired oven. Very popular with locals. I'm going to go in and get some bread for the day. Of the breads that they have, this is my favorite bread in Ecuador. This is rodillas, or rodillas de Cristo, which is Christ's knees. And this is, if you know Passion of the Christ, he suffered for us, and this bread reflects that. This is encasillado, which is bread with cheese in it. And then also we have pan blanco there, which is a white bread. And pan de maíz, which is a cornbread. So they still do it with the oven. And then also, this is one of the best places to go for what we know as Day of the Dead, which is where they have the huelgas de pan. So these are the rodillas, or the knees, and it's just like a very light, crumbly, like moist kind of bread. It's really good, and the cheese is just a little salty. This is the encasillada, so encased in cheese. I've actually never had this one. I'm gonna get the cheese part. Still super soft, salty. So good with coffee in the morning. I forgot how good this place was. I haven't been there for a couple weeks. It's so good. One of the things I love about this neighborhood is that you're in the heart of culture. So the hostels itself, they were actually built on former Inca ruins. Just down the street, you have lots of different museums, including this one, which is Pumapungo. Now, I'm not a really big museum person, and if you're not either, the best thing about this place is it's free. In fact, a lot of cultural elements in Cuenca are free. Inside they have artifacts, and if you head out to the back, you actually find ruins of Temple of the Sun. It's pretty incredible, and it's absolutely free. So there are actually 3 museums in the museum building. In the basement, you can find the museum that explains currency and economy. So you can see the pre-Columbian times where they traded shells, jewelry, more rustic things up until modern day. So if you're interested in learning about the sucre, which was the currency before the US dollar, they also have it here. The first floor is the Human History Museum and the story of how society evolved in this region. On the second floor, we have the Ethnographic Museum. And so that is the study of the different ethnic groups in Ecuador from the Andes, the Amazon, and the coast. And as a bonus, at the end, you can see the Shrunken Heads exhibit. So many people think of the Inca as one group of united people, and that actually isn't true. And that's because the Inca Empire was gigantic. Started in Colombia, went all the way down through to Argentina. And so with an empire that big, after one of the Inca kings died, there was actually a little bit of friction, and they divided into 2 empires. So you had the Northern Empire, which was Colombia, Ecuador, Northern Peru, and the Southern Empire, which started in Southern Peru and went downward. Now here in the Northern Empire, in Cuenca, just down the street, we have the Temple of the Sun. Now in the Inca Empire, the Temple of the Sun is the most important structure because that is where the king lived. And the king who lived here was Huayna Capac. And so he lived here. Now, what's interesting about this place is it was considered a lost city. Eventually, there was an Inca civil war. This place and the settlement of Incas around it was severely damaged. And so there were ruins even before the Spaniards came. In fact, it was in such ruins that the Spaniards came and they did not recognize this as an important area. In fact, they were asking around because they were looking for golden treasure. And even though people said, yes, there is one around, they just couldn't find it because this looked like rubble. And it wasn't until the beginning of the 20th century that they realized this was a very important place. This was the Temple of the Sun. And so part of this museum complex, you have the interior, which are the artifacts. We have the archaeological area, and then down below we have a botanical garden. And it's not just for decoration. This actually is to learn about the different plants, how the Inca were able to live here, and then also how plants are used today by Ecuadorians. And this is lemongrass. So we've got corn, cabbage. On the inside there's some quinoa, some beans, a lot of different plants that they used to grow here. Well, and they still grow here. So this is known as a paper tree or polylepis, and the only other place I've seen it is in Cajas. It's actually endangered, so it's great to see it here. So this is Siete Cueras, and it is a flower where they use it to treat everything from cataracts to toothaches. There's also a bird rescue center. So in some cases, they are confiscated from people who should not have them. And then in other cases, they are birds from the Amazon who fly over the Andes to get to the coast. And they're taking a rest, and so people might see them and think they need some help, so they bring them here. But really, they just need a rest and they can keep going. This is a rehabilitation center. If birds are brought here and they can survive on their own, they're released back into the wild, and if not, they stay here and are used as a teaching tool. So right here, there are some macaws, and I asked Andreas why they were here. And he said, absolutely, these were confiscated. They belong to nature. You cannot just take them. And so there is a jail time, 7 years? 7 years for taking one of these birds. Up to 7 years. Just a short walk from the museum, we find Las Herrerías, and it is a famous spot for gastronomy. It's known for its treats or golosinas, which are things like tamales, humitas, chachis. I'm here because I'm going to pick some up to go and take them home. So we're here at Café de la Golosina, and this is called House of the Treat. So lots of traditional Ecuadorian treats here that you can have at breakfast, but also really common to have in the afternoon with a little bit of coffee. So I am trying chachi for the first time. It is not easy to find this dish. So it is easy to find quimbolitos, tamales, humitas, but chachi, the first time I saw it was actually in Cañar last week. And so when I saw it here, I knew I had to try it. Now, a lot of these treats kind of look the same. They're often wrapped in some kind of leaf, but chachi is a little bit different. In fact, all of them are a little bit different. Chachi is ground mote or hominy, and it's cooked with a little bit of cheese, so it's salty, and some spices. Now, traditionally, it was cooked in a bromelia leaf, but bromelia is a protected plant here, so you can't do that anymore. So instead, it's in achira. Now, if you saw my cayambe video, you know that I had queso de hoja in the achira leaf. And also, achira itself is turned into a flour that is gluten-free and made into gluten-free breads and other desserts. Very, very versatile. But let's try this. Chachi. The adhere here is fantastic. It's really good, very light. It looks dense, but doesn't taste dense. So it has that corn flavor and then just a little bit of saltiness. It's really good. This is one of the things, I don't want a sweet with my afternoon treat. So this is actually quite delicious. So next up, I need to do a little bit of grocery shopping. I'm going to head to two spots close to the hostel. The first is Supermaxi, which is a traditional supermarket, and the second is the actual market, Mercado 10 de Agosto. And I'm not too far from Supermaxi, which has a fantastic produce department if I can't get to the market, and then an entire wall of yogurt with incredible flavors, another entire wall of tuna, the best quality tuna you'll have, and then if I need any kind of beauty products, they also have a section for that as well. One of my favorite places is the Mercado 10 de Agosto, or 10th of August. It's just down the street on Calle Larga. Very safe and clean to eat. You can go grocery shopping there, and they also have lots of interesting juices. So I'm here at the Cuenca Market 10 de Agosto, or 10th of August, and I'm here to have Levanta Muertos, which means Rise of the Dead. There are two reasons that Ecuadorians drink this drink. One is because it's considered to be Ecuador's natural Viagra, but also they drink it when they're feeling a little bit hungover, also called chuchaqui. So we're going to drink this. In this drink, we have borojol, which is a fruit that's kind of like tamarind. But this fruit is so ripe, it's almost entering the fermentation process. There is also malta, which is a popular drink here that is fermented. It almost tastes like oatmeal, so I think it's fermented oats. We have a free-range egg, which is called criollo. And then we have beet, carrot, orange juice, banana. So let's try it. Oh, this is good. It just tastes like a really good smoothie. I love beet, so that's actually, I think, the
like overcoming flavor at all is the beet, and beet in a smoothie for me, or jugo verde, is like the perfect kind of smoothie. It's kind of beety, kind of banana-y. I didn't taste bordeaux, but I don't know what that tastes like. And I definitely didn't taste the raw egg. So this is good. I would recommend trying it. It's very big. So if you finish it all, I'm sure your hangover will be gone.
Here at Chiplote, which is on Calle Larga, and it's been here since 2008. It is very well known in Cuenca for having some of the best cocktails. It also plays sports and has a diverse bar food menu. I'm here for the Super Cholo. Now you might think, wow, this looks like a camping mug. But actually in Ecuador, before ceramics became very popular, people used this as their coffee mug, their everyday mug, and so that's a nod to their heritage. The Super Cholo is super interesting. So it has canuto in it, which is an aged shumir, the local aguardiente spirit, sugarcane, and they also infuse lemongrass into it. On top of that, they have some club soda, they have some ginger syrup, some maracuya or passion fruit juice, they have some lime juice, and then they top it with a dried orange slice and then also more lemongrass. It is so fantastic. It's so good. I love that it uses all local ingredients, and also canuto, which is the aged shumir, is not easy to find. Not everybody is using it. But it just shows you that aguardiente doesn't have to be like this harsh alcohol. You can actually really have it in a very sophisticated cocktail. And so it's not too sweet. It's very bright from the citrus and the lime, the maracuya. It's just perfect. But let me tell you, it's so good. You might want to have too many of these.